What's going on, everybody? I'm Mara,
And I'm Tess.
and welcome back to Sisters Who Kill. If you ain't got no real money, just say that.
Our players this week are Jaquan Berry, our victim, Shaylin Yeldon, our accomplice, Dion Nettles, our accomplice, and Shantaria's boyfriend, and Shantaria Jones, our murderess.
Shantaria Lynette Jones was born on August 5th, 1997, and we know that she has one sister. We don't know much about her growing up or her childhood life, but we do know at some point she was working as a CNA, and then she stopped working as a CNA. Not sure what happened there. However, after time went by, she met herself a man, as they do, and his name was Dion Lanier Nettles Jr. Now, Dion Nettles Jr. was born on February 11th, 1990, and he had a 1-year-old baby at the time. Not Shantaria's baby, but a baby nonetheless. And I'm like, y'all know my rule. If you have a 1-year-old, baby, we have nothing to discuss. You need to be going and buying Pampers, my guy. You need to be making sure that your son or daughter is being potty trained. You don't need to be up in my face for anything. Anywho,
It sounded like he had his kid with him, though.
you don't need to be with me with your kid. You need to be with your baby mama. Even if y'all ain't gonna be together, y'all need to figure out co-parenting in a year. Now, he is originally from Warrington, Florida. He did have a Facebook profile, but there wasn't much information that we could pull from there. But we do know that he had a little bit of a bad boy streak, a little bit of a criminal. He was arrested in 2015 for grand theft and utter forged instruments. He was waiting to see what was going to happen with that charge at the time. Now, they got together all the time. Clearly, they were together. And then if the baby is 1 year old, how long have y'all been together? I know there's somebody that we went to school with that just had a baby.
7 months.
7 months. You've been with him since his baby was a literal newborn.
The baby was about 6 months old.
It don't matter. You still need to be going out and changing the diaper, Genie. What are you talking about? And then there's somebody that you and I both follow that one day he's posting a picture of him and his boo at the beach, and the next day he's posting a picture of his new baby, and the new baby is not by the boo at the beach that he was taking a picture with yesterday. Those don't make sense to me.
Who we following?
What can you do? But anyways, they're together. They're enjoying life. And Shantaria, she has this cousin named Shaylin Sierra Yeldon. And Shaylin was born on June 11th, 1996. So Shaylin and Shantaria, like we said, they're cousins. And Shaylin has an apartment in Dogwood. Now, Shaylin is the only person on this lease. But that don't mean she's the only person to be living there, obviously. Shaylin got her boyfriend living there. His name is Uriah. Then there's Shantaria. Then there's Dion, the boyfriend. And they all coming over. They spending the night. She got the party house, for real, for real. And the area that they lived in, Dogwood, it wasn't the best area. It was known for gun violence. It was known somebody might break into your shit. Kill boys might be out there, but they had a great time. Now, like we said, Shantaria has one sister, and in this area, in December, Shantaria's sister got shot by her boyfriend. It was a domestic violence incident, and it was so common around that area. So here it is. It's June 20th, 2018. It's like a Wednesday afternoon. And we're going into evening, and Shayla and Shantaria, they're basically all hanging out. They invite some cousins to come over. They invite some friends to come over. They're like, all right, let's pull out the cards, phase 10, spades. Everybody smoke a little weed, roll it up. And This is a normal routine for this crew. If my cousins lived that close, you best believe that we all would be. I mean, but
What are y'all doing tonight, tomorrow night, the night after?
if we all lived in the same apartment complex, it really don't even matter what the environment is like because we got each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to ask you what you're doing. I'm just gonna tell you, come on over. You better just let me know what you're cooking that night. So they run out of weed or they ain't got no weed or they trying to get some weed. So Shayla gets on Facebook and makes a post and says, who got the gas? You know what that means? Who got the gas? And so then this guy named Jaquan Berry responds to that post.
Jamal Berry was born on August 15th to his mom, Lakeisha, and he had two sisters and a brother. Now, it seems like he has a very close relationship with his aunt. I don't know if he grew up with her, if he was just staying with her for the time being, but that's where he lived at. He stayed at his auntie's house. And for the most part, his family said he stayed out of trouble. He was very lighthearted, the type of nigga that'll give you the shirt off his back. Like, big smile every time you see him. Was just a really nice, easygoing guy. And although he was out here hustling, he was searching for work and was set to start a new job soon. But in the meantime, and in between time, he was selling weed. So he on Facebook and he see these girls post who got the gas. He's like, me, I have the gas. So he responds, I got you. What you looking for? They said, how much for a quarter? Now, for those of you who don't know, that's a quarter of an ounce, which is going to be 7 grams. So yeah, he tells them it's going to be 60 for the quarter. So then Shaylin says, what about a half? He's like, lowest I can go for a half is 85. And they was like, really? Which, I mean, it's not a bad price for a half. It's not a bad price. And he was like, I can't go no lower than that. And he was like, but trust me, it's the good shit. So you gonna be straight. So Shaylin messages back, I gotta pull up. And he's like, yeah. So he tells them to meet them at 1101 Trenton Avenue. So it's about 9 p.m. And they all pile up into Shantaria's car. Now this is Kima, they friend, they neighbor. This is Shaylin and Shantaria in the car. And they go and they make their way to Fast Lane. Now it looks like Shaylin is a stud. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. And they pull up to this convenience store. The convenience store is called Fastlane. And this is where Jaquan told them to meet them. He then sends them a number to call when they arrive. They call the number, nobody answers the number. They like decline the phone call. Then they call back from a private number. And they was like, this weird that this private number is calling us. Shit kind of feeling a little sketch right now. Then they answer. He, is like, yo, it's me. I'm here. He gets out of his car and goes up to Shantaria's car. She was like, okay, I just want the quarter for 60. So they do their little exchange and she gives him $100 bill. He get in the weed, start to give him change. And then he's like, hold on a second. This shit a counterfeit 100. Give me that shit back. It's like, no, no, no. That shit ain't fake. We don't need that or whatever. According to Shantaria. We didn't have access to anybody else's testimony or interview or anything. But according to her, Jaquan reaches in the car and starts choking Shaylin, who was in the back seat. And I guess that's who he gave the weed to. So Jaquan reaches in the car and starts choking Shaylin, which is who he gave the weed to. And they was like, I don't know if it's because he thought Shay was a nigga, because her hair was cut low and stuff, or what, but he's like choking her like, hey, give me that shit back, trying to fight her. Shantaria says she kind of freaks out a little bit, reaches under her seat, finds a gun, pulls it out, shoots him. She says after she shot him, he was still attacking Shay. So she shot him again. And then she shoots him one more time, and then he kind of falls back and she speeds off. Now, she's pulling off. Jaquan is kind of like falling from the car because he was kind of leaned in the window. And I guess she dragged his body just a little bit as she sped off, but she sped off and she left. And they said it was a real quiet ride home.
I
You got
bet
a
it was
little,
a real quiet ride home. The
right?
fuck? It's always like, and then we had a quiet ride home. Yeah.
Because what the fuck do you say after killing somebody? From the way she tell it, none of the girls even knew she had a gun on her. So it's very much like, hold on, where the fuck did this gun come from? Like, shit escalated quite quickly.
very quickly. So after their very quiet ride home, they also had no headlights on the vehicle. And back at the scene, witnesses they heard the gunshots. They see this man lying on the floor. They already called 911 and emergency services are on their way. And Shatira gets on Facebook and the first thing she sees is somebody just smoked Jock. The girls are like, "Oh my gosh, y'all, I think that boy is dead." No, really? You think you just shot him that close of range and just stayed there and he was okay? Not at least seriously injured? And so eventually they sit there and then they decide to grab hands and meet and agree. And they decided to say a little prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And then after they say amen, they said they just waited. Because I mean, what can you do? Unless you're planning on turning yourself in, you just got to wait for the other shoe to drop. So while they're waiting, Shaylin, she gets in the shower and she was stressed out. I'm pretty sure, the shower is where you kind of feel like,
Yeah, you let it all go.
I can break down in here. Like, nobody's in here. I can act a fucking fool. I can scream. I can cry. Like, I can break down. And she broke down in that shower. They said she stayed in that shower so long she ran out all the hot water. But hell, my name is the only one on the list. I can use all this hot water if I fucking want to.
Mm-hmm.
And so Shayla's in the shower having a complete breakdown. She calls her boyfriend Dion and she's like, "Hey, baby, I need some help." And he's like, "What do you need help with, my love?" And she's like, "I need to clean out my car." And I don't know if her nigga anything like my nigga, but he might have been like, "You always need to clean out your car. Are you in a rush today?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm in a rush today because there's broken glass in my car and a lot of evidence in my car. And we just need to make sure that it's extra spotless." Dion doesn't come over to help to clean the car until the next day. And Dion and Shaylin are the main two people that clean up the car, getting all the glass out, all the extra blood out, everything. They're just trying to wait and see what's going to happen and clean up their tracks while they can.
So the police, of course, witnesses called 911. So the police get to the scene and they start investigating. They start back at the house where Jaquan was said to be at, which is his auntie house. And this is like less than 100 feet away from where he died, which must be super hard on auntie, right? Like every time you step out, you seeing where he died. That's probably the gas station you always go to because it's right there across the street from your house and shit.
And how long are they taking to clean up his blood off of the sidewalk? Are they waiting for the next rain or are they actually coming out and pressure washing it? Does
You
the city give a
know,
fuck?
they notified the family that he's died, and his auntie, Jennifer Davis, says it was a selfish person, a person that is selfish because they took an angel. That boy didn't bother nobody. He didn't bother nobody. He couldn't stand no mess. He kept a big smile. Every time you see him, he had his big old pretty Kool-Aid smile on his face. I'd be like, boy, you know you got a beautiful smile. He ain't bother nobody. He would give you the last shirt off his back. She had nothing to add to the story, nothing to add to why somebody might want him dead. And over by her house, there were no other eyewitnesses. So now they turn their attention over to the gas station. Looking at the surveillance video, the investigators look and they're able to identify this car. And after running the tags and shit, they see that it's Shantaria. They see Shantaria meeting up with Jaquan, and two eyewitnesses also identify her car. So they're like, all right, put a bolo out for this car. We're going to look, try and see if we can find it. Dion was out cruising in this car because, I don't know, it's giving scrub. Like, not in my car, I'm in your car. We not in my house, we at your cousin's house, you know. But he was riding around in his girlfriend's car. Now, Shantaria says she told him don't be riding that car because she only got insurance on that car. So she only like take it for her, okay? But he was in a car with his niggas, and the detectives pulled him over. And they was like, not only are you driving a car that don't got no insurance, but this car has been involved in a murder. Now, according to detectives, this is when Dion says, this my old lady car. So they go down to the police station with Dion and they get a statement. And apparently, In this statement, Dion told investigators that Shantaria had told him the night before, along with her mother, that she had just shot and killed him.
Said, not on me.
And the only reason I don't really believe this is because how he reacted when he spoke to Shantaria afterwards. Like, he was like, why would you tell them anything? Like, so I don't, that's why I keep saying allegedly, because the way he acted don't match what they saying happened right here. So he says that she done told him everything about the counterfeit money, the weed, all of it. The investigators also said that Dion admitted to helping clean the car and the glass and the broken window from out it, but that he had nothing to do with Jaquan's murder. Also, I don't believe it because he admitted to accessory after the fact and then he home. I don't believe it. I think they pulled him in and he said he don't know nothing.
Sometimes they'll let you walk until they get the big fish that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll come back and circle around and get everybody that they need.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, he got this other case on him right now that he hasn't gotten sentenced for yet. He's already been arrested for, but he hasn't gotten sentenced for yet. So I know he ain't fucking with the cops.
Dion's not arrested or anything. The police then go to Shaylin and Shantari's apartment, knock on the door, ask them to come down to the station for a little bit of questioning. The girls agree.
Girls go down to the station. Shantaria is brought in for questioning, and y'all can look up this entire interview. It is very available. And she's in there for a while, and she's kind of getting, I don't know, nervous, maybe agitated. She starts kicking her chair against the door. And when the interview starts, like, it's almost like she's not taking it seriously, or she's trying to just be very playful and play coy so that people aren't really thinking that she could have done something like this. Like, she got her shoes off, she got her feet in the chair, like she ain't got no damn home training.
Listen, she probably was
And
cold. I was trying to
I
ball
would be
up.
I would be cold in there. So why take your shoes off?
She only had sandals on. And when I got
And
sandals on,
so
they just be coming on. like, I was like, eh.
and so they were like, okay, Miss Shantario, is that what you want us to call you? And she's like, do you want us to call you anything else? She's like, you can call me Cinnamon.
I was like, what in the
Okay.
stripper name?
Okay, girl, whatever. And then she's sitting there for a while. She's like, okay, what's up, man? I'm in here. Like, yeah, I got cuffs on my wrist. Like, this must be pretty serious. Like, what's going on? So they're like trying to get her to talk. Tell us what happened in your own words. Like, you're a young girl, the streets get wild. You still have a great opportunity to turn your life around to get things in order. Just tell us what happened. Just talk to us. Talk to us. Shit happens, man. Like, what's going on? So, what were you doing on the afternoon slash evening of Wednesday? And she's like, me and my cousins came over to play Phase 10. We was playing space. We was having a good time. And they were like, okay, and what else? She's like, okay. So then we were supposed to meet somebody at the fast lane to buy some weed. They were like, so did you buy the weed? She's like, nah, we didn't buy the weed because the weed, like the prices were a little bit sketchy. I was trying to get a half, but his prices were like, they were weird to me. They weren't making any sense. So I said, no deal. And I talked about the prices on the phone with the dude before I even got to the gas station, like when I was at my cousin's apartment. But when I got to the gas station, he wasn't even answering the phone. And then when I got there and he's not answering the phone, all of a sudden I'm getting calls from a blocked phone number. And after that, my cousin was like, like, we probably shouldn't be buying from weed if he's gonna be sketchy like this. Like, we ain't buying pounds and pounds. This is small potatoes. So we were just like, mm-mm. And then she goes on to say, I feel like I'm here because I feel like someone feels like I'm tied to this because shortly after we left, I heard those gunshots and I heard all the sirens. And then out the blue, some bitch just wrote me on Facebook and I woke up and I'm like, and then they come into my door today. So it's my spiritual being. I'm kind of putting the chain of events together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get it, end quote. And the detectives are like, yeah, something like that sort of did happen that night. She's like, see? I want to do crime scene investigation. So this is like right up my alley. I don't know. My girl said she watched a lot of CSI and think she can be a help to the law. So later on in her interview, they're asking about who initiated contact with Jaquan. And she's like, he initiated contact with us. Like we asked where the gas was and he hit us up. And she's like, I'm a pretty girl. Not gonna flex. I'm a pretty girl. And if I go online and I ask where the gas at, the niggas gonna swarm because hella niggas are gonna want to sell me weed because look at the material.
And quite frankly,
I'll take the confidence. And I also know that it can be true.
mm-hmm.
So, mm-mm-mm. She goes on, she's like, he wasn't even the only person that hit us up to buy weed from, but he's the person that we were decided to deal with. And then he got sketchy. So we was like going home. We was leaving. And she's like, it's crazy because like meeting up with random niggas to buy weed. She said, quote, a lot of friends is dead behind shit like this. Which is like, sometimes you gotta learn how to keep your mouth shut, girl. Them little nuggets will get you every time. So detectives are like, listen, we've already gone through Jaquan's records. We got the surveillance footage with your car. And his records show that Shaylin texted him that y'all were there. And a minute later, he was dead. And she's like, a minute later. And then I'm guessing y'all saying there's three girls in the car. So one of you did something to him. That's what y'all trying to say. And the detective was like, correct. And she was like, no.
Pretty much.
Pretty much what we're coming to, lady. And so the detectives are like, listen, we ain't bring you in here just because we just out of the blue didn't know what was going on. We were very aware of, we did our homework before we brought you in. You saw we got the text messages. You saw that we have your car on surveillance. So like, you want to go ahead and start telling us something, or you want to sit here and play like you playing? And she's like, I don't know, because she's like, I don't really know because like people kill all the time and they be on the streets. And he's like, what you mean? My sister got shot by her boyfriend and he's still out on the streets right now. He probably made bond and he's waiting sentencing. Have a right to a speedy trial, but the wheels of justice sometimes move slowly. She's like, because I see killers every day, known killers every day on the street. And he's like, yes. Do you want to be a known killer on the street? Then maybe you should let us know the truth and you can get bond too for a little while. And by the way, Dion, last night, he talked to us. He told us everything. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah. Dion told us who was in the car. He said it was Kima, my old lady, and Shay. And he also told us my old lady, who is you, is the one that killed him. It's just like, yeah, we was all together, but why would he say that? And why would he lie and say that I told him and that I told my mom? That means my mom should be telling y'all the same thing, but my mom is not. And the detective's like, mm-hmm. And then Shatira's like, have you pulled up his record? He's definitely trying to get himself out of trouble. He's about to get sentenced because he's got grand theft charges that he's trying to get off. And I don't even know why you're listening to him because, like he said, and like I said, he wasn't even in the car. So her and the detectives, they're going back and forth. And the detectives are like, listen, you really got to grow up. And she's like, I don't even know who in the car had a gun. I don't even think anybody in the car had a gun. It is a car full of ladies. So how do I know how he got killed? I know that it didn't come from my car. And so they're like, okay, well, you do have a broken window. How did that break? She said, so me and my nigga Dion, which you clearly have met, we were fighting and Dion broke it. And they're like, okay, so why would Dion lie? And why would we also get a tip that said that they saw you, called you out by name, and they said that you were at the scene of the crime, there was blood on yourself as well as everywhere on the crime scene, and you were frantic. I wasn't even. What? Nah, bro. That's and then she gives another story. I heard that Quan was beefing with some nigga named Chip about some females. And the detectives are like, you telling me this, but Dion also told me that you had counterfeit money. Where I get it from? I've never dealt with counterfeit money. Y'all must have caught some shit on him to get him to flip on me like this. I never thought I'd be sitting in this seat and a story getting flipped on me like that. Like, that's crazy. Like, what did Dion do? Tell me what Dion did. Because he flipping on me like crazy. And the only way he would do that is if y'all got some shit on him. And they're like, listen, you talking all this rah rah, but look at this picture. And they show her a picture of Jaquan's dead body. They're like, look at this. No, look at it. Somebody loved him.
Shantaria's like, no, yeah, of course, but like, it's not me. I wouldn't. That's not something I would do, bro. And then they're like, listen, just more than anything, we're concerned about there being a gun on the street. So tell us where the gun is. She was like, I ain't had no gun. It was like, so where'd the gun come from? I don't know where it came from. And then she was like, you gotta think, like, 3 girls in a car going and killing a guy, that sounds crazy. She's like, I don't buy weed from plenty of people out here in Pensacola. I ain't never shot nobody. So why would I do this? And it was like, we don't know, girl. You did it. I can't tell you why you did what you did. And then it was like, listen, I know it's probably been weighing on your conscience. Every time you see in a police car, you think we coming to you. She was like, not really, bro. Not really, because I knew it was coming. So it ain't no point in sweating it. And I was like, so if you know it was coming, what? She was like, because it just looked like, I was there. And so it looked like it. I know that it looked like it could be me. And it was like, listen, everybody done told, we got Kima, we got Shay. We done heard everybody's story. We just trying to give you a chance. And they really kind of broke it down for her like this. They was like, check this. And they was like, how about you just let us search your phone? And she says, no, I don't want y'all searching my phone because now I feel like y'all already pretty much believe whatever y'all want to believe. I don't know if it's going to help me. She was like, you know what? Y'all can. I don't care. Like, no, I'd rather take my phone with me because at this point, I don't even know why you need my phone. And it was like, I mean, we can pin you there. And it was like, what you don't even understand is your car got GPS. So we know where your car is at all times. We already know that your car was there. Which, is that how GPS works? Just because you got it, you could, don't the GPS got to be owned and paid for and active? Like,
I don't know.
me neither. Look, maybe the cops got something. I can't tell you what type of technology these niggas got and how they watching us. But I feel like,
People be having their personal FBI agent, CIA agent, so I wouldn't be surprised.
listen, she was like, but y'all saying that he was dragged and shot. All of this is crazy. And it's like, listen, I'm really trying to give you the chance to tell us the truth now. Because what people don't realize is this very well might be the only time that a jury can hear your side of the story from your mouth. He said, because if you decide to take this to trial, if you decide to go and fight this 9 times out of 10, they not going to put you on the stand. So this right here is what the jury gets to see and make their decision off of you. So you might just want to be honest. And she was like, this shit sad. Like, and she's like, she going back and forth, like, my life's about to be over. Like, this is crazy. It was like, girl, you're 21. Your life's not over. And she was like, I'm about to be in jail for forever. And it was like, it's levels to this shit. It probably won't be first degree, which is forever. You are going to do some time, but you're 21. She was like, you trying to tell me I can have a life when I get out? I can't. All I have done, all I ever did was work with old women and children. I can't do that no more. When I come out talk about I killed somebody. And it was like, yeah, probably not. But you will get out and be able to do something. She was like, you're not listening. Like, my life is over. This is it. And I think she's really starting to see, like, there's no getting out of this right here. So then she says, you know what? I'll just take the fall since everybody pointing their fingers at me anyways. They said, it's not taking the fall if you did it. She's like, everybody tell me anyway, so fine. So she was like, they got there and she tells her story kind of the way we told it. She was like, shit was sketchy. She was scared. It's just her and 3 females in the car. She did know that there was a gun. She had the gun on her lap. None of the other girls knew she had a gun. And she didn't necessarily pack it. She was like, it was already in the car. They said, where'd it come from? She said, I don't know. Maybe Dion had it. I don't fucking know. I just know I had seen it the other day and I knew it was in there. And then he came and he started choking Shay and I started freaking out and I shot him and he still wasn't letting go. And so I shot him some more times. And then once he finally let go, I just drove off. And she was like, I was just scared. You don't understand. I was scared. And it was like, why you ain't call the cops? And she was like, because I was scared. Like, she was like, then I get home and I'm even more scared. As soon as I get home, I'm already receiving death threats and shit coming after my family. Like, I done fucked this up for everybody. Niggas gonna come for my mama, come for me. Like, even if I do get out on bond or whatever, niggas is gonna kill me. Like, my life is over. They already threatening me behind. They're like, all right, why don't you just tell us what happened to the gun so we can get rid of it and make sure it don't land up back on the street. She's like, I don't know what happened to the gun. They was like, so you had the gun. They was like, yeah. They said nobody else had the gun. She said no. She said, so if nobody had the gun, what did you do with it? She's like, I don't know. I just I don't have it. I can't remember what I did with the gun. It was like, is it in the car? Is it? She was like, I doubt it's in the car. And then it was like, then where do you think it is? I don't have no idea. Maybe Dion got rid of it. Maybe something. And they was like, could it be here? Nah, I doubt they would do that. But I really can't tell you where the gun is. I don't know where the gun is. Then she's pretty much told them everything that they're looking for besides the location of the gun. She's told her version of events. She was scared the way this nigga reacted. She knew that there was a gun in the car. She did it to save their lives. They was choking the shit out of Shay. She didn't know what to do. After confessing, they was like, all right, we about to go and unlock your phone and do some more paperwork. And we about to let you just sit for a little bit longer. Probably, and she was like, how long? It was like, probably another hour or so. Not gonna lie, you gonna be in here for a minute. And she says, okay, can I just call my mom? And he says, you know what? Sure, I'll let you call your mom. So she dialed her mama number. Her mama answers. And first thing she says is, Mama, I love y'all, okay? Her mom was like, what? And she was like, I love y'all. I'm going to jail. Her mom was like, back the fuck up. What? She was like, me, Kima, and Shay, we going to jail. Now, this part makes me think that she did tell her mom what happened because not once did her mama ask, what did you do?
It's just those are the words that I like. If I knew I was going to jail for a long time, I'd probably be like, just letting you know I love you, bro.
Like, but the girl not even in jail. She gonna have a whole nother phone call to make. Like, hopefully you get out on bail. He done already told her she got first
It'll be
appearance.
my first one too. I don't care. I love y'all. I'm so
So,
sorry.
but my thing is the mama, I think she told her mom, she was trying to deny even telling her mom what happened. I think she did tell her mom what happened because her mom didn't ask, why are you going to jail? Her mom said, when her mom hopped on the phone, she said, what? She was saying, where are y'all? She said, me, Kim, and Shay, we all up here. We in jail. We about to go to jail. And her mama says, did you ask for a lawyer? And she says, no. She said, why? You always, she was like, you asked for a lawyer. That's the first thing that you're supposed to do. She said, it's too late now. She said, no, it's not. She said, Ma, I told him everything. She said, it's too late. I already told him everything. It's too late for me to ask for a lawyer. So I guess Dion's sitting right there. So Dion hop on the phone. He like, hey, is that Sean? They was like, yeah. He said, he got up on the phone. He said, where you at? She said, it don't matter. I'm going to jail. He said, what you mean? She said, you got pulled over. You told them that I told you and my mama that I killed that boy. That's the first thing they said when they came in here. He said, man, you know you can't believe what them crackers say, man. She said, it don't matter. He was like, you don't believe nothing that they say, period. You know that they lie. That's why they put us all in separate rooms. You know that. She said, I know. He said, you're not supposed to
But
tell.
everybody's listening to Sister to Kill but you.
Girl. She said, I know. He said, you're not supposed to tell them anything. She said, it don't matter. He said, it do matter. She said, listen, Shay and Kima, they was already shook the fuck up. They done pointed the finger at me. My car got GPS. Everything is pointing at me. He said, so you told on yourself? She said, yes, I did. He said, for what? She said, because they already told on me. And Dion is hot. Like, bro, You supposed to be tight-lipped as fuck. I ain't got shit to say to you. I ain't got shit. And that's why I really don't believe that Dion went and was just like, oh, let me talk to you, officers. Really what happened was that nigga already got charged. He ain't trying to deal with this shit. He said, you don't believe nothing them crackers say. This fuck the police. So why the fuck would he give up over some insurance tags? Like, no. Oh, this car was involved in a murder? You know you wasn't there, nigga. Like, Dion was like, don't sign no papers that they give you. Don't sign nothing. She said, I already did. He said, why? She said, I don't know. He's like, they gonna come in and they gonna give you this thing and say you got the right to speak or not. She was like, yeah, they already did that part. And I guess Dion probably being seasoned in this is like, nigga, you got Mirandized and you kept talking. As soon as you Mirandized, you are officially a suspect. Like, you are officially under investigation. Like, they not there just to chit chat at that point. And so she's just like, I don't know. I just already did it. So then it starts to sound like she was like, listen, she was like, I just had to tell the truth. I just called to tell y'all I love y'all. I'm going to have a bond. I can get bonded out because I was honest. So that's why I did that. I was honest so I could get a bond. And so I have first appearance tomorrow. And Dion's like, you need to get a lawyer. You need to do this. And she's like, I already fucked up, man. They finna take me to jail. I just gotta get out. And then she starts crying. Like, I think it's really hitting her. She about to go to jail. And he's like trying to give her advice. He's like, you need to tell him it's too late. Tell him you didn't say that. And she was like, she said, I gave a full confession, bro. So we all three about to go to jail. And then I can't hear what he's saying no more. But she was like, so what do I do now? Because I already confessed. And I can't really talk because I'm being recorded and I'm on their phone. So, like, I don't know what you want me to do right now. And her mom was like, I just don't understand why you ain't text me. She said they snatched my phone as soon as I got here. And so they pretty much tell her she needs to lie and say that she wants a lawyer. And it's basically trying to walk back the confession. And then it sounds like her granny hops on the phone. Because all you hear her say is, I can't, granny. We have nothing. We're locked to tables. We don't got no phone, no Bible, no nothing. So I feel like granny was trying to tell her to pray it out. She was like, ain't no Bible in here. I can't look up no scripture, granny. We are in jail, or we are in the interrogation room about to go to jail. We don't have nothing. I can't. So then they're like, okay, the officer needs the phone back, so you're going to have to say goodbye. And it was like, all right, I got to go. Bye, y'all. So after that, the detective who she was talking to comes back in. He was like, all right, we about to finish up some paperwork and yada, yada, yada. And she was like, is it too late for me to get a lawyer? And he's like, no, absolutely not. And she was like, okay, because I lied. And he was like, lied about what? And she was like, a lot of things. She said, a lot of things. And I just think it's best if I get a lawyer because I lied. He's like, all right. And he leaves. He's like, we're not going to talk to you anymore because you asked for a lawyer. So that's fine. It's perfectly fine. You're entitled to that. So then the next lawyer, I guess he hadn't relayed this to his partner because the next lawyer comes in like 2 minutes later or something real fast. So the next officer comes in, and I guess they hadn't had a time to say that she lawyered up yet. So he comes in. He was like, all right. So I just got this paper right here, and it's basically you signing saying that everything that you told us was the truth. And she was like, but it wasn't. He said, what? This is not the detective that interviewed her. This one had been rude to her from the beginning. He just came in. She was like, what's your name? He said, Officer Barry. She said, can I talk to you? He slammed the door behind him. And so when he came back in with these paperwork, he was like, you gonna sign saying this is a full confession and everything you said was honest. She said, I wasn't honest. He said, what? I wasn't honest. And I was just really scared. And I just felt really pressured because I'm young and I ain't know what to do. And so I just told what you guys wanted me to tell. And I'm just feeling coerced. And he said, ain't nobody pressure you. She said, I'm just young and I ain't know. So I just want a lawyer. He said, that's fine. That's your right. You're still being charged with second-degree murder with a firearm. So, all right. And he just walks out the room. She trying to talk to him. Can I? He don't give a fuck. And so then she She's sitting in here, she antsy, she don't know what to do. She starts slipping out her handcuffs. All you see is them walking her back, and it's the same route. And again, he like, cut it out, Officer Barry. He's like, cut it out. Why did you take your handcuffs off? She was like, they was hurting. No, they wasn't, because I locked them myself. He was like, they hurting because you sliding them over your wrist trying to get out. And she was like, it just hurt. And
Damn, handcuffs hurt.
they do. So then he locks her back up to the table. She goes out. She started messing with it again, and I guess now he watching her on the cameras. He comes back. You want to play games? We can play games. You want to do dumb stuff? I'm gonna treat you like you doing dumb stuff. So then he locks up. She had one arm free. Now he lock up both her arms, and she was like, "Why don't you just lock up this one that's closest to the table, and I can have my other arm free?" He ignoring her. He is. I ain't like his attitude, to be quite honest, but he was just like. He locked both her tables to the both of her hands to the thing. Then they're looking at her again and they see her like taking her nails off and stuff. And they said, "Why are you doing that?" And she's like, "Cause I'm gonna have to fight people in jail and I can't break a nail." And they said, why do you feel like you're gonna have to fight people? She said, "Cause I'm pretty and they gonna bother me." The amount of times that she called herself pretty in this interview,
You better love yourself, girl.
it had to
You
be at least 4 or 5
self.
times.
That's you can tell she ain't never been to jail. Baby, you think you the only pretty girl in jail?
She said, "Cause I'm pretty and
You,
they gonna bother me." And the officer said, okay.
Shantiria was arrested and officially charged with second-degree murder. Shaylin Young and Dion Nettles were also arrested and charged with accessory after the fact. Shantiria was given a bond of $700,000, and Dion and Shaylin were given a bond of $300,000 apiece. They got her a plea deal where she pleaded guilty of manslaughter with a weapon, and Circuit Judge Joel Bowles accepted her plea. Shantiria was sentenced to 15 years. Shaylin was sentenced to 48 months, and Dion got 96 months. Now, Dion also, remember, he wasn't charged for his old shit, for that grand theft and that fraud. So he ended up finally getting his sentencing for that, and he got another 5 years for that. After a while, there was an appeal. Dion Lanier Nettles Jr. He tried to appeal, but his appeal was denied. She tried to appeal, and all I found on the internet was appeal denied.
Literally, it gave no details and nothing. It just said denied.
Nothing. JustinaLaw.org. It is just nothing, okay? Jaquan's mom often posts about her son on Facebook, how much she misses him, how much she loves him, and how much she wishes that he was here, because obviously she is a mother hurting over the senseless loss of her son. Shantiria is set to be released in 2031. Dion was released just this year in April of 2025, and Shaylin was released in November of 2021. And this is the story of Shantiria Jones. All right, y'all, it's time for
Well, I'm not black. I'm OJ.
I ain't do it, but if I did, this is how I would have got away with it.
I ain't do it, but if I did, it was never confirmed or denied if she used counterfeit bills. But baby, you don't counterfeit with $100 bills. You counterfeit with 5, 10s, because niggas not checking
You
that shit.
gotta counterfeit with low money. Because even at Ross, they gonna check 20s and up.
You know
You
what I
guys,
mean? Ain't nobody checking 5s and 10s.
I was at Cold Stone Creamery the other day, and they checked somebody's $20 bill. But if you came in there with a counterfeit 5, you would have had some free
You
ice
would
cream.
have You might could have came with a Lincoln on a $1 bill and they would have took it. Ain't nobody checking that shit.
They're not checking it. He said a Lincoln on a $1 bill. You're funny. I ain't do it, but if I did, yeah, girl, like your mama and your nigga said, ask for a lawyer. And you should, I feel like they really wasn't together too long, but she really felt like her man switched up on her.
Yeah.
And you have to know for a fact where your loyalty is with these people, bruh, because if you know for a fact that he is never going to switch up and he's never going to talk to police, you know how to move. But you weren't very confident because y'all barely been together for real. So you weren't sure where he was moving. And so that's how you easily fell for him telling on you.
Also, I ain't do it, but if I did, you knew from jump Kima wasn't with the shits. Shay was barely with the shits. Kima, if you was out here with the gun ready to pull it if necessary, you should have had the people who was gonna ride if necessary. Okay? Folded as soon as they said Kima was there.
Kima should have been at the house waiting on y'all to return.
Mm-hmm. I ain't do it, but if I did, if he was reaching in the car attacking Shay, I'd have pulled a gun. I'd have just pulled off. He can't hang on for too long while that car driving.
He might have had a skin knee or something, but he would have been all right.
He might have ran over his big toe or something, but he'd have
He all
survived.
right. He would have been all right. It probably would have been some Facebook drama afterwards. But
Right.
shit, go ask your nigga for a real $100 bill since you got one.
That's
Or
what
was
she
that
kept
his
saying.
counterfeit $100 bill?
I got it. Wasn't no fake money. She was like, I got money. Like money ain't an issue for me.
Your mama listen to Sisters Who Kill. Your nigga listen to Sisters Who Kill. Your grandma listen to the pastor. Girl, you should have asked for a lawyer immediately.
As soon as they said they got all this shit against you, all right, I'll be happy to cooperate with you once my lawyer gets here.
Everybody on the other line was like, no,
They was hot. The fuck you talk to
wrongful.
them for? I don't know, cause they had me. They was like, have you or not, girl? You talk to a lawyer. These people do not have your best interests at heart.
Ever. They lie. They are allowed to lie, but you're not allowed to lie to them. We know this. I
You know
should be
how
more careful.
upsetting it must be? Because it almost sounded like the mama just felt like it was common sense and her daughter should have known, or that maybe even she possibly had a conversation with her daughter and then her daughter didn't do it. You know how frustrating that would be to like drill that into your kid's head. You always ask for a lawyer, and here they are facing a murder trial, and they call you saying, I've confessed to everything. No, I did not ask for a lawyer. Like, you gonna call me once it's too late? Because trying to walk it
Mentioning it
back
at
at
the
the end
last
is
minute.
crazy.
That's why, honestly, when it comes, they talk about, I might get this wrong because I am not like an educator, but when it comes to drilling concepts into children, it's like say it and then like make them say it and then role playing it. Because I know a lot of times, like when it came to what do we do in emergency situations with my mom, she never taught me to call a lawyer because I guess that wasn't on her list of things. But if it was like, this is how you call 911. Like she would tell me, she would demonstrate it. Maybe she wouldn't demonstrate it, but then she would also, we would role play the emergency. So I'm at least feeling some type of semblance of being in that situation.
Yeah.
Just so that, because even you could tell me what to do, because I'm a nervous Nelly, and then I suck at lying once I'm super, super nervous. So if I haven't practiced this ahead of time, if I haven't gone to a rehearsal, baby, I'm probably going to tell the truth because
I'm scared.
oh my goodness gracious, girl.
She told it all.
Told it all. You got any of those?
Do I have any more? Let me see. I think I ain't do it, but if I did, I don't know that I would have tried to like kiki so much. And then they sitting there telling you, I know you was sweating. I wasn't sweating because I knew y'all was like, you really trying to be so cool right now? I promise you that I don't give a damn how cool you think you are. Like,
Ever.
figure out what you gonna do for you and then do that.
And exactly. Ever. My goodness gracious. Parole or no parole?
I think if we're going under the story that he was choking them out and she was scared, I'd give her a chance for parole. She is 21 years old at the time. Like, I can see her being scared. But
I can see her being scared, but oh my gosh, it's just the stupidity of like, why you go straight to shooting a motherfucker? I would have, even if I had the gun on me, I would have driven off. Like, let's say that he had a gun, right? And then he shot the tires and then he started coming back. Now I'm about to shoot you for real. Like, then we have like a little stand your ground going on. Because if Shaylin was the one that killed him, she would have had a little stand your ground. Didn't have one. And you in Florida, you know how easy it is to kill somebody and get away with it in Florida? That's why you know killers every day.
And you know what she said in her interview? She said she didn't regret shooting him. She just regret that she didn't call the police afterwards. And she said she didn't regret shooting him because she was in fear for her life. And I think so that was another like I ain't do it, but if I did, like if it was an accident, if it was all that, call the cops then. Don't be hiding. Don't be acting suspicious. Say, hey,
But
I just shot this man because he tried to attack me and my friends. And now they're more
people
likely
be
to
so
believe you.
scared. People, and I get it. Like, I'm not gonna call the cops on just anybody and everybody, but I be calling the cops. I was talking to my last tech, Angel Eyes. She got an ad on one of our other episodes, but I was sitting there with her, and we were just chit chatting yesterday, day before when I was getting my lashes done, and we were both like, if it come down to it, I'm calling the cops. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Mm,
I've got sense enough to not call on something that can be resolved without the police because I do know how police treat us, right?
mm-hmm.
But fuck around with me if you want to. Officer, lock him up.
It's getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand. I can't. Somebody get down. Office. Somebody hurry up and get down here. I have a gun and I will use it. I am in
Listen,
fear for my life. It is on a record. But yeah, I actually do. I think I would have taken it. I think I would have tried trial if I was her.
you think?
Oh, it's just so risky. It's so risky because that fear for your life. Like I really do think that she was scared.
But I
But
think
that
fucked herself
manslaughter
up
versus
trying to
second
play it too
degree is,
cool in the interview. There
yeah,
wasn't any point of remorse for her. You know what I mean? It was
because
lie, lie,
they're gonna
lie
play
till.
that in court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, damn. She gonna get out. She gonna be still. She gonna be like 36 when she gets out.
How many years she get?
15.
15?
She got
Yeah, she'd
15
be
years
like
because they
30,
dropped. Yeah, she
36.
was 21 when it happened. So yeah, she'll be 36 when it gets out. Hopefully, she takes that time and really like. If you don't have your high school diploma, go ahead and get your GED. Get something under your belt so when you come out, right now her only skill set is being a CNA. You can have other skill sets and you can
Mm-hmm.
still have a long and flourishing life
Mm-hmm.
starting at 35, 36.
Mm. So I wish you best of
Oh,
luck when you get out, girl.
I hope do your thing, but make better choices.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it was like she's not somebody that I was like, oh, you need anger management, but it's that I don't even know if it's impulse control. Like,
Yeah,
what do you
because
like?
honestly, the officer was like, I know killers. You're not a killer. Like, I don't have any, like, there's nothing in my mind that says if we let you back out on the street, you're going to kill again. Like, I know.
But also, like, you do need to do your time. You took that man's life, and
Mm-hmm.
he needs to have his life taken like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's the end of the show. Let's go ahead and read some reviews because I'm burning up hot in the studio. What if your next girls' trip transformed your whole life? Paradise and Vibe presents Vibe Fest, a 4-day wellness festival at the #1 spa in America.
Oh my God, it's done.
What's going on, everybody? Alan King. And they're from Philly. What's going on, everybody? I'm Marah.
And I'm Taz.
And welcome back to Sisters Who Kill. I feel like we need to write a rule book of things that we say that you shouldn't do, going through all of these stories that we've told. And this is definitely not rule number one, because rule number one is to always ask for a lawyer. But rule number pending, don't have so many people involved in your crime.
Our players this week are Rachel King, our victim, Zaki Alakim, our accomplice, and Julie's baby daddy's cousin, William Hayes, Rachel's boyfriend, and Julie Jean, our murderess.
Julie Jean was born on November 29th, 1988. We don't know much about her background or her growing up, but we do know that at the time of the story, she has 3 kids. Now, I know that she has at least 2 baby daddies. She could have 3. That's her business. But we know that she at least has more than one. And one of her baby daddies, his name is Stephen Acom, and he's born on August 9th, 1989. Now, Julie is a woman and women have needs. And she met a man that also had needs, and his name was William Hayes. Also, don't know too much about William Hayes, but we do know that he works at a child care center. His Twitter says that he's a school leader, and I'm not sure what that entails, but we did a little deep dive, and it seems like he has his PhD. So, shout out to you, Dr. Hayes. Anyways, Julie and William meet, right? Things are going really well. But what Julie doesn't know is that William has been talking on and off for a while with this girl named Rachel. Now, Rachel, her name is Rachel Elizabeth King, but most people called her Diva. She was born on September 25th, 1987, to Carol and Alan King. That they sound like the deacon and deaconess, Carol and Alan King. And they're from Philadelphia. Rachel has three brothers and one sister. One of her brothers described her as one of the loudest and brightest people that he knew. Dad, Alan King, was, of course, a pastor. Articles go back and forth calling him a pastor and a minister. There is a difference between the two, but we're going to call him pastor. Pastor Alan King Jr. Everybody described her as very upbeat, bright, funny. She had a knee-slapping sense of humor, and she was very family oriented. She loved her siblings. She loved her parents. She loved her extended family. She did have a son. His name is Jalen. He's 11 years old at the time of the story, born in 2011, and she was a teacher. She taught 7th and 8th grade history at Grover Cleveland Elementary School, and she taught there for over a decade, and she wanted to become a principal. She wanted to start her own curriculum consulting business. She was very involved in the learning practices of those that were K through 12. And she was working on getting her master's and principal certificate, and she loved her students. And with all of that work, like that takes extreme focus. And I know working and getting my master's at the same time definitely was really hard for me. You know what I could have used?
A little magic mind.
So when Magic Mind reached out to us about a mental performance shop, we were curious to say the least, especially since I'm a little caffeine intolerant, so I don't really like to go towards energy drinks, but this is packed with nootropics, L-theanine, and mushrooms.
And when it said mushrooms, it had my attention because I love the natural stuff. So we tried it at first.
The Magic Mind
Is very important.
so don't walk.
Use code SISTERS. Part of 2020, they started dating. Why are so many? We have so many stories where people start dating in 2020.
I know, right? I was
And
like,
it
who's
just
not again?
here we go again.
I feel like this one is because they're in the same apartment complex.
They were quarantine buddies. If the apartment complex were close knit, like some apartment complexes were having a good time out of their
They said
COVID
this apartment
shutdown.
complex is huge. They said 1,800 units.
Sheesh.
Yeah. William is working at a child care center. Still in late 2020, he's at this center and he meets this woman named Julie. Julie is here, her kids go here, and they make each other's acquaintance somehow or another, right? See you, you see me, you cute or whatever, but I got a girl, he keeps it pushing. February of 2021, he moves to a new child care center. He doesn't see Julie for a while because, of course, like they only knew each other because the kids went to his daycare. Around July or August, Julie's kids moved to his new child care center. Now, William says that he did not know that the kids were about to switch to his school, but them seeing each other again sparked a little sexual tension or whatever. And by the end of 2021, William and Julie began having a sexual relationship. Now, let William tell it, he and Rachel were off when this started. And I don't know when they got back on, but William was with Julie for 10 months. Somewhere in there. Now, after these 10 months, I guess William is really figuring out that Rachel is where his heart is. That's where he wants to get serious and be with. And so he was like, listen, Julie, we need to end this. And I'm with Rachel. I need to focus on Rachel. We got to stop doing this. Julie wasn't trying to hear that shit. And so Julie was like, you thought, nigga. She starts harassing him, blowing his phone up. She already know where he work at. She be at work all the time. He can't avoid her, right? Unless he change schools. So he's seeing her all the time still, and she always got something to say. You thought you was done with me. You thought you could play in my face like that. Now, all this time, Rachel has no idea about Julie. Around August, September ish of 2022. So remember, he started fucking around with Julie at the end of 2021. That went for 10 months. So let's around October, November that he started fucking with her. That 10 months where it's cutting off is right around July, August, September. And around this time is when Julie decides that she gonna up and move to Williams' apartment complex. Don't know if they were still together when she made this move. It's unclear, but she's there. And we have to also remember that Williams' apartment complex is also Rachel's apartment complex. So the three of them are all here. Now, like I said, it's a big space, but they all here. William again says he had no idea that she was moving to the area. But Julie, she's just like, listen, nigga, you gonna see me, you gonna want me, and we gonna put this thing back on track. If I gotta fight for my love, then I'm just gonna fight for my love. She's texting him, calling him, why you ignoring me? Why you doing all of this? So now William has just been trying to like push that away, ignore her, avoid her, keep Rachel out the business. A couple of months pass. It's now December. And Julie is still on William's ass. And so on December 5th, this all leads to Rachel finding out. You see, Julie somehow got Rachel's number, starts texting and harassing Rachel. He my man. You don't know he been fucking with me this whole time. You thought you had him, this, and the third. So Rachel goes out and she's like, William, what the fuck is this? And William's like, listen, I did make a mistake. We was on a break. I did start seeing somebody else, but I've been broke it off. She won't take no for an answer. And I think at this point, they may or may not have, I can't truly confirm. I think I heard a word that they was engaged, maybe pre-engaged at this point. And so Rachel's
Not
honestly...
pre-engaged. Stop. Pre-engaged, what? They've been discussing marriage.
You've been talking about getting married.
I've been having sex with him and saying to him, wouldn't it be so great if we had the same last name?
Let's have a discussion. Because some people be like, please do not propose to me without ever having had a conversation about marriage with me. Because how you going to know that I want to marry you? We ain't even discuss marriage. You got to discuss it before you propose. You pre-engaged. And so, of course, Rachel is upset to hear this news that William started this relationship with another woman, but she's committed to William. She decides that she can forgive him for his indiscretions. He broke it off on his own. It's not like she caught him in the act, right? You went ahead and ended it months ago, and it's just still haunting you. So we can get past this. On December 7th, William gets an order of protection. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Rachel told him to get this order of protection because, nigga, she's been harassing you for how long and you haven't? And now on the 5th, she hit up Rachel on the 7th, you getting an order of protection. Rachel said, tell that bitch to back the fuck up. He files for his order of protection, and they have a hearing on the 15th. Rachel goes to support her man at the hearing, and on the way up to the courtroom, they run into Julie. Shit start popping off. And Rachel and Julie get to arguing. It wasn't physical, but it was verbal and it was loud. So loud that the police had to break them up and separate them. They go to court and they said, you know what, we're going to keep this order of protection in place until September 15th of 2023. So damn near another year. So Julie hot. Nah, you going to get a court order and bring this girl up in my face trying to do all this, do that. She leaves. She called one of her baby daddies, Perry Madison. And they talked several times throughout this day. It gets to be later in the evening. William is at the house. He's talking to Rachel. He was like, you know what? I really am the cause of all of this shit, right? Because I stepped out on you or whatever. I started this relationship with Julie. And maybe I just need to be a man about it and let her know what it is. Or maybe Rachel was mad and was like, I hope you're not trying to play us. And he was like, I don't care. I'll tell you in front of her. He tried to pull. When Alandria said you fucking around talking about you want me, but you not acting like you want me. And you over there with Clark. And she said you need to stand on business. But William said he was going to stand on business and choose Clark. So he go over to Julie's house with Rachel and says, listen, I'm sorry that things had to go this way, but I'm with Rachel now. Coming to you as a man, I wish you no hard feelings. I want to apologize to the both of you. But my life is going to be with Rachel, and I need you to understand that. Julie said, I ain't hearing none of that shit. And she's still texting this nigga, still harassing this nigga. And she just can't get through her head why William don't want her.
I don't
Why would Taylor
understand.
throw a Landry away like that when they've been building this foundation? Why would William throw those beautiful 10 months away like it?
Is this a housewife reference?
It's Love Island.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Julie is upset. She big mad. Not little mad, she big mad. And something needs to be done soon. So she calls her baby daddy, one of her baby daddies. They talk on the phone. She calls about 7 times. And then in February of 2023, Julie's baby daddy sends her contact. You know how you can send somebody's contact via text message, via SMS. And it's for his cousin, Zakai. It's just under Za, or Zai, Z-A-H. And when she gets this contact information, she's basically probably already told her baby daddy that she has a problem, needs to get something eradicated. And so she then starts talking to baby daddy cousin. They're texting about this problem that Julie is having. And he's like, well, who's the problem? Sends Za a picture of Rachel, a picture of where she lives, the address. And she's like, I can make you a deal that you can't refuse if you just make my little problem go away. And Za's like, ain't nothing but another day in business. So they meet up, I don't know, for coffee, for beer, for lunch, who knows. And they start discussing the details. How they gonna do it? They gotta be real smart about it. You don't want to be seen in your car, don't want to be seen in my car, but it's all right. They got an extra $1,500 laying around, and so they use that to buy a Mercury Sable. They put it in Julie's name, and they get this off of somebody off the street in Philadelphia, like a shop. You know how shops sometimes they'll tell you that your car ain't fixable, but they really can fix it, and they go ahead and sell your shit. It was one of them. So it wasn't a fancy car, $1,500. Then she goes, drives that car, goes to the bank, gets out $500, gives it to Za. Za takes that money, goes and buys him a gun. This is a ghost gun. Now, what does that mean? It means it can't be traced. How it can't be traced? There's one of a few ways. You can file off the serial number, get it off the street. Guns go around. Also, a new thing that's happening. Don't know if this is what he did, but Taz informed me. Do you know they are out here 3D printing guns that work? Either way, don't know how he did it, but the point is that he got a gun that should not be able to be traced back to him. But what does he do? He takes a picture of the gun and sends confirmation of the gun's arrival to Julie. Then by April of 2023, Julie is laying it out. She's got multiple pictures that she's continuing to send Za of the apartment, her moves, things like that. Basically, this is like a lookbook, a Pinterest board, if you will, all of Rachel. And so after she sends all these pictures, and I mean like a montage of pictures, just to think that somebody could be like taking random pictures in a montage of me and my moves, that somebody would hate me that much. It's just, ugh.
This is literally on the FaceTime lurking.
It's like a picture of what homegirl look like right now. It's a picture with like a line drawn and circle exactly where she gonna be.
She definitely took a picture of the Google Photos and then used markup,
And
like the draw
yes,
tool.
yes,
The pictures that she's
exactly.
sending him is not giving, I took this from her Facebook. It's giving, I was lurking and shot this through a window or something. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. After these pictures are taken, I think Za is ready. You know what I'm saying? So he shares his location with Julie, and the two of them meet up again. They get to talking. They crossing T's, dotting I's, making sure everything is fucking straight. On April 7th, this four-door white Mercury is seen parked on Rachel's street, and it drives past her house twice. So Julie, of course, already knows the route she's gonna take. She knows every route to get to that apartment. They ready to go. Arrows and everything on the little diagram. And so at some point that day, Za's like, all right, bet. I'm down. I'm ready to go, but I gotta go handle some other business. Apparently, murder is his business, because he had another murder to take care of that day before he got to Rachel. Rachel was in the queue. Julie had to wait because he had another one he had to go take care of. So Zah, he's like, hold on, I gotta go take care of something. And sidebar to his other murder, that's on the 5100 block of North Broad Street. The man was shot multiple times. 11 casings were found by a 9mm. He was taken to a nearby hospital, pronounced dead at 10:12 p.m., and police didn't catch him right off the bat. This was an ongoing investigation. There was no weapon, no suspect. They had no idea anything except for the victim. The victim's name was James Chris Farrell Jr. He was 36 years old. He was known to be a standout athlete when he was in high school at Gratz High School, and he was one of 7 children. So Zah was like, whew, got that taken care of. They looking for me, but they don't even know what they looking for. All right,
They don't
Julie,
got no
back to
gun. They don't got. He still
they
got
ain't
the
got
car.
shit.
They don't got no witnesses.
They ain't got shit. So he come back and he's like, Julie, you ready to get this one started too? And said murder is his business.
Yo, a few days later, on April 11th of 2023, Zaki leaves West Philadelphia, drives to Rachel's apartment in the Mercury. He gets there and he waits for Rachel to come out the house. She comes out the house with her son, Jalen. She gets Jalen into the car. They fasten up. And they head out. Now it's 7:40 a.m. And she trying to get her son to school early because he's got violin lessons. They go to the Dunkin' Donut at the Melrose Shopping Center in Cheltenham Towns. She's going through the drive-thru. She's waiting in the drive-thru. But before she can even place her order, Zah pulls up to the Dunkin' Donuts behind her. He parks the Mercury. He gets out. He walks over to Rachel's car. Before she can even place her order in the drive-thru, Zah, who's been following her this entire time, pulls up to the Dunkin' Donuts, parks his car, gets out his car, walks over to Rachel's car to the driver's side window, pulls out a gun, and lets off 6 bullets, killing her instantly. Now, none of the bullets hit Jalen, but a bullet did, I guess, go through the car and hit a black SUV in the background. Now, after letting off the shots, Zaki runs back to his car and he drives off. Now, there was a witness in the parking lot and she called 911. In addition to somebody calling 911, there were officers that were already in the Melrose Shopping Center. They were getting breakfast. And a woman runs across the street and she's like, hey, officers, I just heard gunshots over there by that black Ford in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. And so the officers are like, gunshots? Let's go check it out. They right there. So they pull up almost immediately, right? And they approach the vehicle and they see Rachel dead and Jalen in the backseat crying, which of course. And she's like a little away from the drive-thru lane. She's not in the drive-thru lane. She's a little ways away. And I kept wondering, was she in the drive-thru? Because nobody mentioned anything about a crash. Because if she died, how's she gonna hold the brake? But it seems like she did veer off. And if you look at that picture I sent you, Mariah, she on the curb.
I mean, yeah, it looks like it. I'm gonna post these pictures on our Instagram, y'all, so you'll be able to see them as well.
They go over there. They see that she is in fact dead. They see that she definitely has been shot and that her son is in the back seat. He's back there crying, which of course he is. What a terrible fucking way to start your day, bro.
11. Are you kidding me? That's something that he's going to remember forever. Forever.
He said that he was just sitting in the car like, okay, why you not taking her to the hospital? You gotta get her to the hospital. You gotta help her. I think he immediately starts calling his family to let them know what happened. And from there, police start their investigation.
On April 11th, 2023, there are 2 sets of detectives that are out there. The Cheltenham Township, because that's where the murder took place, and the Montgomery County detectives, they launched a joint homicide investigation. Police began their investigation as quickly as they could. They didn't have much to go on. They just had the shooter was driving a light colored sedan and described as a black man with a thin build and that he was wearing colored pants with a dark hooded sweatshirt. That is not a lot of information. The Detective Bureau Forensic Sciences Unit collect fired cartridge casings, basically means shell casings, from a semi-automatic weapon. All 6 of the casings were the same caliber, that 9mm Ruger, the one that murder that just happened a couple days ago. And Rachel's family was granted family emergency custody of her son. So what are the choices they have? To put him in
Mm-hmm.
foster care? Not after he just saw his mom get shot. Are you kidding me? You better give that baby
Mm-hmm.
to his grandma or whoever. When asked, the police made a very quick statement. They said this appears to be a targeted murder of a mother. Anyone with information about this vehicle or the driver is asked to call the police and help us find whoever committed this heinous murder.
That's really sucks, right? Like targeted murder of her mother. That's legit. Like not of a mobster, not of a drug dealer, not of a hitman, not of somebody who did something to, like literally just a mom taking her kid to school.
Yeah,
Literally
who
just a
would have thought?
woman trying to help the kids.
Who would have thought? Grover Cleveland made a statement and said, "We send our deepest condolences to her family and loved ones. We are devastated by the loss of an extraordinary teacher who spent 10 years working with our students and families. Tomorrow, Cleveland Elementary School will have a 2-hour delay opening, and social workers and counselors will continue to be available for those seeking additional support as we grieve the loss of a member of our Mastery community." Which is like, come on, that shit is crazy. The news also spoke to William because, that's her man, her actual man, not her Delulu man. And William told the local news that she was taking her son to violin lessons that morning, that she was a loving mother and was working to get her master's degree and her principal's certificate. The police are looking around and they're looking for surveillance video. They're asking everyone, trying to gather any information that they can find, and they were able to get surveillance footage from various shops and traffic lights that were en route from Rachel's apartment to the Dunkin' Donuts. In that footage, police saw that light colored sedan with the PA license plate DYR N012 following Rachel. And they're like, damn it, we've got a lead.
The police go back and are reviewing more surveillance footage from earlier in the week, and they see that this silver sedan with the same license plate is showing up at her actual apartment. They also see that this is matching a sedan that they were looking for the murder that happened on April 7th in Philadelphia at 1500 North Broad Street. And they were like, okay, we need to go figure out who the fuck is in this silver sedan immediately. And it went hard. The next day on April 12th, they see this little Mercury Sable out and they try and pull it over. The key said, oh, hell nah. Puts his foot on the gas. Starts speeding away. So now they got a whole police chase going. He's fleeing, weaving, swerving, boom, crashed into a fence on 16th Street. Police get out, they arrest him, they take him into custody, and he is officially charged with Rachel's murder. He got charged with first-degree murder, third-degree murder, conspiracy, possessing an instrument of a crime. He didn't get no bail. He was remanded to Curran Fordham Correctional Facility in Philly, and he was charged with the murder that happened on the 7th. Now, while all this is going on, Julie really just trying to keep her head down, but she's trying to stay close to the case because she needs to know what's happening. So she's steady Googling. I bet especially after Zaki went dark, she was probably like, yeah, saying whatever. Now she can't get in touch with him, where on the street is. He done got arrested. This girl Googling her mind away. Rachel King murder.
I would have reached out to William. Oh, William, are you okay? I heard about what happened. William probably already had her blocked, though.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you was harassing me, now you asking about her? Maybe that wasn't a
Now
good
she
idea.
should have brought over casserole, seen him in person.
Yes, brought a little. I just can't believe, like, that is outrageous.
Now, the police have Zaki in custody. He's being interviewed. And they're like, where you stay at? He's like, oh, I've been homeless for several months. I'm sure he's saying this
That's a
because
great answer.
he don't
It
want to get a
is.
police an address.
It's a great answer.
I don't live nowhere.
That's the number one answer on the board, Steve.
They said, how you making your money? He said, oh, I sell drugs. I ain't afraid to say it. He said, listen, man, we got you driving this Mercury Sable, this silver Mercury Sable. This same silver Mercury Sable was seen at the Dunkin' Donuts on April 11th, and a man similar to your bill stepped out the car and shot a woman. He said, "Oh, for real?" He said, "Yeah, that wasn't me." It was like, "It wasn't you." He was like, "Nah." They said, "Who was it?" He said, "It's probably my homeboy Tizzy." They said, "Tizzy?" "Yeah, Tizzy borrowed my car night before." And then it was like, "He borrowed your car. So how you get the car back?" "Oh, he left it in the Kensington neighborhood." And he said, "When did he return it?" He's like, April 11th, the day it happened, I guess. Police is like, "This nigga so goddamn full of shit." They was like, "Listen, we got evidence linking you to this murder and that murder. We pulled you over in the car. They got the license plate that matched the car that we was looking for at both of the scenes. And so this is enough for the cops to at least get a warrant for his cell phone records." And they came back pretty quickly. Boy, did they find some shit. They go on his phone and they see outside of Rachel's apartment a few days before the murder and the day of the murder. It looks like he was watching to see what type of routine she had, when she gets home, when she leaves, how to possibly get her alone. They also find all